We're going to start with Leon Chevalier. Congratulations. 5th in Nice, 4th in Kona. It seemed like you spent a lot of the day in no man's land on the bike. Did that maybe actually work out better for you?
Probably not, no. It was a lot of hard work to catch up, and unfortunately my Garmin never turned on in the morning, so I didn't even have any numbers to keep me company or anything. So yeah, it was a long day out, and I thought by the first time we went through Mount Alani that I made good progress, and I thought I'd potentially catch the group on the climb up to Harvey, but unfortunately it took a lot longer than that to do it. Going through Mount Alani on the way back, I still wasn't there, and at least I had that carrot dangling in front of me and kept me motivated. And finally, at scenic point, I was able to join up with the group and recover a little bit, and then realizing that Patrick was there, Christian was there, I was like, oh dear. So I was like, right, I need to go again, I guess. And we got a little gap coming into T2. I was really surprised to see Magnus there. I think I had like a coffee or something like that. How long were you there for? So all of a sudden I was like really in the race, and yeah, I think I've rambled on. But
No, it's all very relevant. 50:43 swim, which puts you in no man's land on that bike for a long time, but the second fastest bike splitter, a 4:01:38, and then the 2:49:56 marathon, 7:46:54. In Nice it was 5th, here you are 4th. On the run, you were sort of taking scalps as you were making your way along the Queen K down towards the Energy Lab, and then there seemed to be a slight wobble, but you recovered.
Yeah, my whole plan was to not set off too hard on LE drive. It's very tempting to do so. Patrick caught me like really quickly on LE drive, and I ran a few kilometers with him back in Nice last year, but that was way further into the marathon, and this time I didn't even try. Just let him go. Menno also caught up with me pretty quickly. I was like happy to let him go, let him cook himself, and he's a rookie. He actually did really, really well. He really impressed me. But I know what it can cost you to go too hard in that first 10 kilometers. And I actually, then on the run, I think my gap to Patrick came down a little bit, and all of a sudden I was a bit in second or something like that. So I thought I was going to win the race at some point. It didn't happen. Energy Lab happened. And yeah, kind of like last time, a real wobble in the Energy Lab, and then I know that it's downhill to the finish once you're out of the Energy Lab, and I was able to recover somewhat, but still, yeah, having been on that podium for so long on the run, to come in 4th is a bit disappointing, but I think it's a performance I can be proud of.
I can understand how you would say that, but if we look at the previous Fast Ironman World Championship, it was a 5th and now it's a 4th. It's like all of you moved up one spot.
Oh yeah, I'm getting deja vu right here. Without sound, but yeah, he put on a show on the bike, that's true.
Leon Chevalier representing France, congratulations on a superb 4th place. Ironman World Championship, Rudy Von Berg for the USA, 47:18 swimmer, 4:05:49 bike, a 2:48:11 marathon, and 7:46 flat. Rudy, 3rd place. I know it was a 4th in Nice, and kind of like, that's like, so close. And there was a lot of talk beforehand about, Nice home circuit, every stone on every corner of the course. But Kona's always been the dream.
Yeah, I mean, you're correct. I was here when I was 5 years old, 9 years old. I mean, I just kind of grew up with Kona in the back of my mind, or in front of my mind, really. And it's always been a dream to, you always say win Kona, but I mean, be on the podium in Kona. And to do it today is, it just feels a bit surreal, because, it's just so many years in the making. And I'm just really, really happy with it.
At the pre-race press conference, you arrived with an interesting piece of headgear. Tell us about the bison mentality, and did it play in your mind that you were going to be that, strong into the storm for today's race?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of always, it's the mindset, essentially to boil it down, just be strong mentally and go into the storm with no fear. The storm being any challenge you can get, and the Ironman in Kona is a hell of a challenge. So yeah.
Just talk us through that, because it's a long day, but just condense it into the key moments for you.
Well, I definitely wanted to be in the front pack. You have to set yourself up for to be with the fast riders on the bike. So felt really good on the swim. I actually haven't felt very strong in training, but I think I really nailed the last 2 or 3 weeks in swim training. So I was comfortable in the front pack, and then on the bike also had good legs, but it was a huge pack, and I tried to push the pace a few times for a while, but there was just small gaps going, and with my watts, I wasn't gonna push harder than that. I was already way over, and I don't really target watts anyways, but just trying to push the pace, and I just kept on telling myself, keep on asking the question to the guys behind, because you always have to surge, in the back. It's kind of the elastic effect. So I figured, you gotta keep on going. But then, it whittled out a bit towards the end, but it was still quite compact. I wasn't sure how I was gonna run, but nutrition was solid, and I was 12th at the beginning of the run, and to finish 3rd. It was a solid run. It wasn't amazing in terms of pace, but I think a lot of people were just really tired from the bike and, typical Kona conditions. So
It's very much about Ohana, and your family was there, waiting for you on the finish line. You were destroyed, but surely that was a very special moment.
Definitely. I'll cherish that my whole life. It's always been a family affair here. Triathlon in general, Ironman, Kona, and to have everyone here, and I'm gonna spend a few days on the island after a successful race. Couldn't be better, really.
Thank you so much, Rudy Von Berg for the USA, 3rd place. Magnus, 48.18 out of the ocean, 4:02.52. We're going to talk about your bike shortly, and then a 2:46.10 marathon for a 7:43.39. 1 place better than previously. It's always good, the Japanese say kaizen, continuous improvement. I always think of Chris Mikic and 1% better every day. You were talking just before we went on now how towards the end of the bike you weren't in a good place, and in a way, whilst we were watching you through that run, it was like you were just picking off target after target after target. When you were suffering on the bike then, did you think, oh my goodness, my day is done?
Yes. I was very certain my day was done when I hit T2, but somehow, I told myself at least run out at an easy pace that you can sustain, run out to the turnaround in Manila and see where you are. And didn't feel really good on the run, to be honest, but people came past me in the beginning, but then I could see that the gap stabilized, and people were blowing up all over the place, so I kind of, basically just put one foot in front of the other the entire run, and suddenly found myself close to the podium, and that was when everything clicked in my head, and I found the motivation again, and knew I would be able to. I was running at a pace I knew pretty certain that I would be able to sustain. And in an Ironman in these conditions, you know that when the gap stabilizes and you're coming, the people in front are coming closer to you, you know which way it's going to go. So that really motivated me, and I'm super happy and proud that I managed to come in 2nd place here. As I said, I didn't even think I would be able to run the marathon today when I entered T2.
It's a wonderful metaphor for life, really, because if you just keep moving forward in some shape or form, you give yourself time for things to come right, potentially.
Yeah, for sure. I was just, I've been doing a lot of work, like my mental game, and just thinking about all the dark thoughts I had, was just trying to accept them but not react on them, and I think I did a really good work on that.
Denmark is actually a small, very flat country, 5 and a bit million people, a fair amount of wind. It seems that we go from that cold, flat, windy country in Northern Europe, and you're this tall man who's going to absorb a lot of sun when it's hot out there. It almost like incongruous, but there's something about that Viking spirit.
Yeah, I don't think it's like really favorable conditions for me, but I think I can compensate with a good cooling strategy and a good nutrition strategy. So I was really paying a lot of attention to icing in the aid stations and stopping almost every aid station and taking the time. And I think that's one of the reasons that I didn't blow up, is that I constantly basically had ice all over my entire body.
At one stage, one of your biggest challenges on the marathon looked at, you grabbed an iceberg and you were trying to somehow make it small enough to fit into the places you wanted it to go, but it just wouldn't. I mean, like in his cap, etc. And that was, in that time, it was your biggest challenge in a way.
Yeah, because the ice usually is like one ice cube, but then I grabbed this, I think it must have weighed 1 kilogram. And I really wanted to carry it with me, but I just didn't know where to put it. So I ran with it for maybe 500 meters and just trying to crack it or put it down my neck, but it was simply too big. So at one point I just threw it to the ground.
And you picked it up the road.
And I picked it up.
Right in front of me. It's
Luckily, athletes can assist fellow athletes.
I picked up a thing like this big, just run it.
You don't know what to do with it.
Licking it, chewing it.
But it is literally the nicest feeling is to grab a big piece of ice.
We actually need one of those shaved ice stands on the route. You can put your favorite flavor on it. Tak Magnus and Teluga, congratulations. Second in the world. If you don't mind, we're so happy that Menno could join us, Menno Koolhaas from the Netherlands. One of the best Dutch results in a very, 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 very long time here on the big island of Hawaii at an Ironman World Championship. Menno Koolhaas with, in terms of the pros, the best swim of the day, a 47.02, a 4:05 bike, a 2:50.02 marathon, 7:47 going like a Boeing. On that finish line was your final result. A day you've dreamed of for a very long time?
Yeah, first of all, sorry I'm late. I didn't know I only thought I was top 3, so not familiar with this, but yeah, what I said, over the moon, it's when I had a top 10 I will be over the moon, and becoming 5th, it's a dream come true. I had a challenging preparation, so didn't run for 4 weeks, had a stress fracture in my shin. Came here on the island and did my first run, and it felt good, so we said let's go. Yeah, it's I think the best result of a Dutch athlete was 7th. So I was thinking about that, was running, and I was thinking, okay, I can maybe lose 1 more place and then still be the best Dutch athlete here on Kona. But yeah, 5th, it sounds a bit better, I think. Top 5, yeah, and I can sit here.
That's the funny thing often with the professionals, like, I'm at the press conference. And in the moment, it's almost like a bigger deal than what you did, but it's going to dawn on you, you've done something truly incredible, you know. Set up with a really good swim, but what you did is you pulled this huge pack with you, so phenomenal swim. And just give us a brief summary of your day.
It started really bad, actually. I got stung.
Sorry,
by
you won the swim and it started really bad.
Yeah, I got stung by a jellyfish. It was really, really painful. My heart was pumping like crazy, and I thought I'm maybe gonna die or something. It was. I thought I'm maybe allergic or something. So, but then when the gun goes, I felt it, but it was okay. Didn't have the best start, but yeah, on a certain moment I took the lead, and yeah, my goal here was, because of the preparation, my goal was to come out first. Put my name on the board a little bit, and then the rest is just, you'll see. And yeah, then on the bike I was feeling really confident. It was going, crazy. I felt really easy. Only the last 10 kilometers was a bit challenging. And on the run it was one big question mark. I don't know how to feel. I think it was my worst marathon ever in feeling, because my calves were, after 10 kilometers, was already really painful, but it was just, Ironman is also a sport of being mental strong, and I had to be mentally strong. It was not my best performance on the run, but have the best of it. That's what I can say.
So if I can summarize, you didn't have your best performance on the swim because you got stung by a jellyfish. The bike was okay. You didn't have your best performance on the run, but you've had your best result ever, 5th place.
Yeah, I think it's still.
Isn't that good when a bad day is a good day?
Yeah. But this was, I think, one of my best performances also mentally, and that's I'm really proud of. To sit here with such a strong athletes and first time Hawaii rookie and coming top 5, it's couldn't dream for more.
Gefeliciteerd.
Dankjewel.
A big round of applause. Menno Koolhaas. And there was one in the middle with that very special crown and that very special leg. Germany's Patrick Lange, our VinFast Ironman world champion, now for the 3rd time, a 47.09 swim, 4:06.22 bike, a 2:37.34 marathon, and a brand new course best of 7:35.53. Congratulations, Patrick Lange, Ironman world champion.
Thank you.
Patrick, I just want to look back to the Ironman European Championship. You know?
No, don't do that.
No, because you didn't have a good day. You weren't feeling great. I think you were doing physio on yourself on the bike and on the run on your hip, and possibly in a way you're thinking, this year. But was that the fuel in the fire for today?
To be 100% honest with you, I had a panic attack before the start, and that put me on definitely on the wrong foot to start the race with. So my biggest goal for this race here, when we talked about in our race briefing about ABC goal, was definitely go into this race mentally well prepared and more relaxed, and grateful to be here and take this as a chance to shine, and don't put too much pressure on myself. And also had a chat with Magnus at a press conference, the pre-race press conference, and we talked about race nervousness and could just exchange thoughts on that level, and I think that also helped me a little bit that we're all sitting in the same boat, and as Rudy also mentioned, the mental preparations in the mental game is probably the most important thing, and I also, thanks to my team, I think we had a perfect time here, lots of love also, like it's been just amazing time here on the island, and I think also thanks to the island gods, I'm sitting where I'm sitting now, and just absolutely buzzed and mind blown by that.
It was a fantastic finish line celebration. We're going to talk about the swim, bike, run shortly, but you really made the most of your finish line. You soaked in all of it, but you also dedicated it to your mum.
Yeah, 100%. When I was running along Ali Drive, about 5 kilometers into the run, it really struck me, like it's just, I got goosebumps all over my body, even if I was really hot, and that was the moment where I definitely felt her. So she died in 2020 from cancer, and when I was with her in hospice, when I had my last talk to her, she said, I really wish you to be on that top step. I really want you to kick butt one more time, and I'm really proud that I did this for her.
It's about understanding your why, because the why is more powerful than
that was a big one, 100%.
Any nutrition or any training. A fantastic swim to set up your day. I mean, in that big front pack, that's a good place to be.
That was another goal to, and we worked so hard in the swim. I changed swim coaches beginning of the year, and definitely put so much effort in it, and somehow I simply couldn't show it over the year. And so I knew it's there, but also thanks to Ben, my new coach, we had really detailed race briefing. We looked at all the data that we could gather from the swim, so I was pretty sure how to tackle the swim, and it was also great to go out and test the water in the Hawaii swim the week prior, where I had the clear goal of going with the front pack, actually swimming on Menno's feet. Was really happy with that until the turnaround boys, and I think after the turnaround boy I swam backstroke and just chilled and just had a chat with Cam Worth at anti-doping, and he said, you play, you tricked us there. We all thought your swim performance is really poor this year. So yeah, I was really happy with my swim, and happy to show what I've trained for.
Set you up nicely on the bike, so just talk us through the rest of your race, because watching you run is just an absolute thing of beauty, and you look like you were in a hurry. You wanted to get this thing done quickly, just taking scalps left, right and centre. But talk us through, set yourself well after that swim. Talk me through the bike and run.
You know, after such a swim, I was just relieved and happy to be in that pack, and I was also happy to go out and attack. I attacked on Palani and took the chance to go into the lead, because with the new race dynamics, since Race Ranger is introduced, you have a lot of yo-yoing back and forth, so you don't want to sit too far behind in the group. Obviously, we had quite a big group, and over the course, I quite dropped back, and I was not where I wanted to be, but I was still in the group. But I had this big yo-yo effect all the time. On every uphill, I had to literally brake, and at some point, I just thought, okay, I have to focus on myself and do my own race now. So I kind of dropped out of the group, and I could see them 100 meters down the road, but I was able to push my own watts and go with my own speed. And I thought, as soon as they're inside, as soon as we hit town with the curves, with the corners, I just slam it and go all in on the corners, and you, because of the group dynamics, I will be really slow in town, and that worked out pretty well. So I was in the group off the bike, set me up for a really good run, and when I saw the time, I was really happy with myself. Yeah.
So when you finished, I think it was third, and you beat Mark Allen's run record, you went
He was
to
sitting over there.
You went to apologise. Are you going to go find Gustav Eden and apologise for smashing his 740 with your 735?
I mean, of course, we had a talk about it, but I think Mark is another in another league. So as soon as we are not racing against each other, maybe then.
Well, that is your VinFast Ironman world champion. His third world championship title, Germany's Patrick Lange. Congratulations.